Hi, my name is Tamala Woods Calvin, and today I'm here to nominate Mr. Marshonn Calvin Sr. for the Lifechanger Award. Marshonn Calvin, I've known him for over 25 years. 21 of those years we have been married, and so I have been a witness to some of the selfless things that he's done as an educator and a mentor here in the Memphis, Tennessee area. Marshonn is a 17-year veteran for the MILLINGTON Municipal School District, and he's become, for some of his students, like a father figure to them. I can recall times where he's taken the students on job interviews because number one, they didn't have transportation, and number two, they just were not confident that they could fill out a job application. So he went with them to help them fill the job application out and walk them through that during the summer break. So I thought that was just a testament of how he is with students. He's been by the sides of students who have had parents who were on life support and not doing very well, and just been there as a support for them at the hospital, and rallied some of the other students who were friends with that child to be there as a support, whether through just encouraging that student or being there as support. He also had a time where he lost a student due to a car accident, and he was there for that child's parents during that time. And around the same time, that student was actually participating in a national award program, and that child won that year. And so he mentored his student to get to that national level. And so it's just a testament of how his heart is, and how he truly cares about his students and wants to be there for them. Other things he's done professionally, he's been a leader at his school, taking on new responsibilities each year that he's given. So those are just a few of the many things that he's done in his community. Fundraisers for his program. He's taught students how to not just wait on a handout for things, but to go out there and do fundraisers to help raise money for some of the equipment that he's needed for his program, because it is a broadcasting program, and some of those repairs and some of the equipment need things. So he's been there for that also. But he is definitely a go-getter. He is definitely the testament of what a life changer is, because he's changed so many lives of his students over the years. And right now, here's a few examples of some of the lives he's changed.
My name is Joyce Calvin Harmon, and I'm Marshonn Calvin's mother. Marshonn, he grew up in a very happy, hyper, inquisitive, curious child. He always wanted to get into different things, do things. He was always outgoing. He was a people person, never met any strangers. Always wanted to help other people. I always had people tell me that when he grew up, he was going to end up being something or doing something in his life, and I never thought that this is what it would be. When he went off to college, he was supposed to come back home with a degree in architectural, and he came home with a degree in broadcasting. I think things really changed for him when he went to New York and he did his internship, and he got to meet so many different people. When he came back home, he was a different person. It's like he had everything planned out already, what he was going to do when he got back. So he stayed in Memphis, and he got hired at the TV station, WMC TV. I thought that was going to be his only job that he would eventually retire from. One day I got a call from him saying that he was going to go and start teaching. And I asked him, I said, "Is that what you really want to do?" And he said, "Yes, Mom, I want to be able to do something to help other people." I told him whatever he wanted to do, I was 100% behind him. We supported him in whatever decisions he ever made. We watched him develop that program. We watched every sketch, everything that he planned, the design of the desk, everything that he was doing. He took us along with him on his journey, step by step. We would go to Memphis to visit, and he would show us everything that he was doing. And he really did what he was planning to do. It did a lot more than I thought he was going to do. And with him getting all awards and how devoted he is to his students, he's always been that type of person. That's just Marshonn. And that's the type of family that he comes from. We love helping other people and being there for them to do whatever we can.
Hi, my name is Doris O'Connor, and I was Marshonn Calvin's first grade teacher. Yes, you heard me right. I said first grade. I remember meeting Sean when he was 6 years old. What impressed me about Marshonn was he was very persistent in the face of challenges, and he also had very good communication skills. I remember telling his mom it would be so interesting to see what he became when he grew up. I thought he would be something important like a senator or a representative. Nowadays, I like to say he became something even more important. He became a teacher.
Hello, I'm Robert Snipes, Kankakee County Board Member and the General President of African American Improvement Association. I am honored, humbled, and elated to speak a few words on behalf of my godson, Marshonn Calvin. Marshonn chose me, as well as other positive men in addition to his grandfather, as positive mentors during his teenage years and throughout his adulthood. A rare quality in today's youth is without question that we are proud and continue to be proud of him as he sows positive seeds into the lives of his students and others. He's a young man that continues to turn trials and tribulations into triumphs. He stands between the pillars of teaching, but somehow stretches his arms beyond the naysayers into the heads and the hearts of these youths and pour into their lives positivity and purpose. He himself had climbed the ladder of adversity and now reaches back to pull others out of this dreadful pit into a life of potential prosperity. Marshonn has become a master builder. He realizes if his students fail, he fails, so he refuses to let them fail. Class after class, student after student, he builds and builds and builds, and now we see a harvest of some of the brightest minds in broadcasting. A story built upon personal experience, hard work, and in the words of Sir Winston Churchill, never give up attitude. I applaud your work and I thank God for your heart. A great master builder you become because your name is written on the hearts of your students. God bless you, Marshonn. In the words of the old folks, keep on keeping on. I love you, godson. God bless you.
Hello from WMC Memphis, the NBC affiliate here in Memphis, Tennessee, where I've been blessed to work since 1978. From 1998 to 2008, I was very encouraged by the hard-working young man who came to join us by the name of Marshonn Calvin. Marshonn started as a production assistant, working in the studio during all of our newscasts, behind the camera, and in any other function we needed him to do. He was promoted to engineering operator and finally to crew chief and floor manager for WMC Action News 5. During that time, the last part of his tenure with us, he was also teaching in Millington at the Millington Central High School as he brought a new broadcasting program to that school that has touched the lives of literally hundreds of young people. I've had the privilege of visiting Marshonn's classroom and talking with these young people, sharing my experience, strength, and hope, the insights that I have into this business now 42 years. And I've had the privilege of seeing the rubber meets the road gifts and talents, the skills that Marshonn has given these young people. I've watched them grow in excellence and maturity and a quite sophisticated broadcasting outfit. We admire Marshonn Calvin and wish him all the best at the Millington Central High School, where the Trojans make excellent TV.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Akia Williams, and I'm a singer-songwriter located in Los Angeles, California. And I'm here to talk about Marshonn Calvin's program, as I was a member of his broadcast program in Millington Central High School and the positive impact it had on my life. As a result of being in his program, I was able to learn how to edit my own videos, how to curate videos, and how to conduct interviews properly. I'm going to list off a couple of things that I've been able to do here as a result of being exposed to his program and the things that I've been able to experience. So for one, I was able to do a magazine interview with Voyage LA, one with HXXTIC magazine, which is a London-based magazine for my music, and I was able to learn how to interview properly, how to conduct the interview, how to answer questions according to my music and the things that I've done in order to accelerate my career. In addition to that, I've been on major networks like CBS Funny You Should Ask and the James Corden Show, The Late Show, where I was able to obviously hold it together in front of national audiences and not fold or crack under pressure, which once again is a result of Marshonn Calvin's program, so I have to thank you for that. In addition to that, we also filmed a major commercial in Ontario Airport, which will obviously be airing after COVID-19 because of the impact of this virus. But I'm really excited that I was able to be on set with major producers, directors, cast and producers that were able to guide and direct me, which is a direct correspondence to what I learned in Marshonn Calvin's program. So once again, highly beneficial for me. And in addition to that, I had a videographer that we worked with in Italy for one of my singles, and I was able to help him write the treatment for the video, go in with editing, be a little bit more hands-on with the experience as opposed to being just the artist. So I was able to help direct and produce the video alongside him, which was really exciting for me. So I just want to thank Marshonn for, believing in us and instilling in us an ability to be entrepreneurs and to understand various aspects of the entertainment industry and the broadcast industry. And I just want to thank you, Marshonn, and I owe so much to you. Thank you.
Trojan Television is almost 20 years old. It's amazing to see how far this program has gone. My time in the program was spent just learning the ins and outs of how to do editing and script work, which has helped me out so much today. Currently in a church working as the media director, where I've learned how to shoot different angles and how to edit videos to send to YouTube. My time there has been amazing. It's great to know that there are more students that are still filing in and wanting to learn the craft as well. What I loved about the program was that it also taught me additional leadership skills that I've also learned over the many years. My time with Marshonn Calvin has also been really great. Known him as a brother, a friend, a really great father to his own family, and treats all of his students the same. I pray for many more years for Trojan Television, that it will continue on even after he's gone. To all my Trojan TV colleagues, congratulations on so many years of making Trojan Television a success.
Mr. Calvin, woo! He's a good man. I didn't walk into Millington High School and the broadcasting class thinking, I can't wait to do 4 years of journalism and broadcasting. I actually just picked it because it was something to do that wasn't math or science. And then I met Mr. Calvin, and he, just the way he cared about the students beyond just a test grade or did you do your homework. It was him staying after school hours and hours with us and teaching us hands-on how to do broadcasting and how to be journalists, and just the way that he, I can't tell you how many different students I've heard come through the program that say he's the only father that they've ever had. And that's the type of guy Mr. Calvin is, if you want to sum it up, because he was always there. He was always around. I'm 7 years out of the program, and I'll still get random text messages from him. Hey man, how you doing? How's mom? I'm always here for you if you need me. Just checking in. And he doesn't have to do that, but he does. And he brought this program to win Telly Awards right behind the Oprah Winfrey Show. That's impressive. And that is just a direct reflection of his dedication to his craft and to his students. And that is, if there's one thing that I think truly rubbed off on me, it's that. It's being excellent at whatever you choose to do. And it's really helped me be successful in my professional career. And the class today, it just keeps going up. It keeps getting better. And the program has survived a lot of obstacles. the municipality, different leadership, splitting of the class, a lot of things, and the one thing that's been constant is Mr. Calvin. And that's been the glue that's held the class together, and that's made it what it is today. And it keeps getting better. And it's something that has a direct impact on the lives of students, and I still see the impact that it had on my life in where I am today because of the investment Mr. Calvin made in me.
Where do I start? Mr. Calvin. First of all, I just want to give my thanks, man. I just want to give my thanks to Mr. Calvin, his wife, just for everything they've done for me, everything that they've done for people around me. It's just having somebody in your corner, other than your family. It's just nice to have sometimes, especially being a teacher, somebody you only see 5 days a week, to care about you like that. And I can truly say, to this day, I still love Mr. Calvin and Miss Tamala. Hands down. They came to my wedding. I still talk to him. Like, he's been nothing but a ray of bright light in my life. So I wanted to get that out of the way before I did anything else, because they've been a great help in my life. Mentally, financially in some places, they've been a great help to my life. And I am super appreciative of that. But starting up in his class, man, I got in there just not knowing what I want to do, just signing up for stuff. When the paper said broadcasting, I figured, hey, it's better than all these other kind of electives. I'm not really interested in anything else, and broadcasting was kind of cool. I figured I could make some videos or something like that, or whatever. I didn't think too much of it at the time when I was signing up, but hey, most of us don't in high school. But getting in there on the first day and coming in and seeing a brother teaching me, I'm big on representation, and for me to go in a class I've never been in before, I'm new to high school, and to see a black male teaching this class, this elective, it was great to see. It was great to see. And from that day forward, I was all in, whatever needed to be done. My first year, I'm basically just whatever needed to be done, I'm doing it, just to try to be involved in some way. And Mr. Calvin was a huge part in that. Just from the daily things of telling me what I could do, and instilling just confidence in me, honestly, just telling me I can do something, because I didn't come from a place where people are telling you positive things you can do with your life. I come from a place where you see people do one or two things, die or go to jail. I didn't think there was much else outside of that. So actually having a black male teacher telling me these things changed my life tremendously. Made me want a lot more out of life, a lot more, because at that point I didn't know what I wanted out of life, and I didn't think it was much in life. But yeah, continuing. So I'm grateful to be a part of the first original crew to bring the weekly TV show to Millington. I'm super grateful. Even just the experience of having a responsibility every week so something could go on, like as simple as that, just made me super grateful for my role. But man, the next year, just like a sitting quarterback the year before transitions into his own the next year, I'm the guy now. I'm the guy. I get to control a lot more. I started doing the sports segment, and when I tell you now, just him handing me that responsibility prepared me for work, college, just everything in my adult life now that requires pre-planning and having responsibility. That prepared me for that a lot. And now that I sit and reflect on a lot of this, that class changed my life. That class really did change my life. So did Mr. Calvin, the teacher of the class. Changed my life for the better, much better. I honestly can tell you now, I don't know where I would be right now without Mr. Calvin. I can honestly say that. From the man really giving his all with me, being patient, being understanding, knowing what it's like helping out, hats off to you, Mr. Calvin. Hats off to you. You've been a wonderful mentor in my life. Wonderful.
It's the roll call. Hey, what's up, everybody? Stan Bell serving you well and pushing more power than a Duracell. Just want to take time out from the man cave in the studio to tell you about my good friend, Marshonn Calvin. He is a genuine human being. And not only that, he's a school teacher. No one needs more inspiration and encouragement than a school teacher. I want to say congratulations on the job well done. All that you do, you autograph your work, Mr. Calvin, with excellence. I've known Marshonn Calvin for decades now. I was a classroom teacher with Shelby County Schools, and he's one as well at Millington Central, home of the Trojans. Big shout out to Trojan TV. Hey, this might even go on Trojan TV. Mr. Calvin has done an extraordinary job working with our children, working with students. He treats them as if they were his own. And that's what we need, the love for our children in the district and the world over. So I just want to take time out from the roll call and just to send a shout out to my good friend, Mr. Marshonn Calvin, always autographing his work with excellence. I want to say, keep up the good work. No one hates a job well done. Class dismissed.
The question was, how did the Millington Central Broadcasting Program affect me, and what was my first view of it? I was a senior when I first started into Mr. Calvin's broadcasting program, and day one, Mr. Calvin felt that it was necessary for us to understand history. So we had to go through all the history of photography, broadcasting, videography, that goes to news anchoring, all of that. We did that. And that showed me his passion and his drive towards being the best broadcasting instructor that I've ever encountered. Mr. Calvin is more than just an instructor. He embodies the approach of being a mentor. This man goes far and beyond. I mean, I used to not have rides home from school. This man would drive from Millington to take me all the way back to North Haven and drop off other students as well. Mr. Calvin is just beyond exceptional when it comes to an instructor, a mentor, and now since I'm an adult, a friend. He's stayed in my life. We've constantly kept in contact. So to say the least, the program is more than just a program. It's like a friendship. It's a family. He definitely instilled that in us, because when he came from the newscasting side of it all, he brought that. He brought that teamwork. He brought that camaraderie. He brought the aspect of working together. And since that, I've carried that on in my entire life. I went off to join the military. I did intel. In the intel field, I was a cryptologic technician technical, or a CTT in the Navy. I got out, and I still have that same foundational interest of broadcast and teamwork, camaraderie. He helped me mold right into the military life of being a team building person and a team worker and working with a group, because that's what we did. Every time we had to film a game, every time we had to film one of the school dances, or just get video and interviews with the students and instructors, we worked together. He sent us out as a 2 or 3 man team. We never did anything alone. So that way we had checks and balances with each other about, you got your mic on, did you white balance, did you, is your tripod balanced, are you set up right? So he did a lot more than just teach. Mr. Calvin actually, he raised us, to be honest with you. We all still keep in contact, like I said, and that's different grade levels too, because I came in as a senior, but I worked with some of the sophomores and some of the juniors. and it's just grown since, because we didn't have a Trojan TV. We had just the broadcasting program, and we had the huge shoulder lifted cameras. They're like 70, 80 pounds. We had some of the Avid machines, and you know, it's good and it's beautiful looking back on it, because now it's something more. It's so much more. These kids have a news desk, they have backdrops, they've got lighting, they have a whole studio. This stuff was all being built when we were coming in, or when I was in. It was just being built. A lot of it was still in construction. Some stuff we could utilize and play with, but a lot of it just wasn't ready. And he dedicated a lot of time. He wrote a lot of letters to people. You know, he got a lot of funding. It took a lot for us to get from, you know, Millington Central broadcasting program to Trojan TV. And now when I see these kids making these videos, these commercials, these movies, they make and they do the news in the morning. They do the anchor thing in the morning. It's so good to see a program that literally started from the ground and is now sending kids to college, giving kids a future, giving students a career that can not only grow them as a person, but grow them professionally. And then Mr. Calvin gets to see all his fruits of his labor, all his fruits. These are yours, Mr. Calvin. You did that. You brought people together who would normally not even meet each other. I wouldn't have bumped into these students in class. I probably wouldn't have spoken to a lot of the students, because it was just a thing of, you know, when you're young, you're grouping. But Mr. Calvin created a place where diversity was a real thing. You had the smalls to the talls, the bigs to the skinnies. You had the smarts, and you had those who just started, and then you even had your blacks and your whites. We all had to work together. A lot of it wasn't just well, go work with your friends. No, like I wasn't into animation, and he had me work with people who do animation, so that way I can have some sort of foot in all of the different aspects of media, communication, editing, videography, photography, just touching it all. And I really appreciate him for that. And I want to thank Mr. Calvin for what he's done for Millington Central High School with that program, because I've seen more mentors come from that group. I've seen more military people like myself who have went off and came back and still wanted to be a part of it. And I've seen people branch off and do similar things. So Mr. Calvin, you have started a snowball effect of people who probably wouldn't and now do because of you. You are amazing, sir. And I will say this, keep going, keep it up. Trojan TV is really just the start, I'm sure. So it's just, like I said, it's just amazing to see something that started out as a thought and is now full steam ahead.
I really appreciate that class, man, because it taught me a lot about dealing with people. It taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about actually embracing, you know, what I can do and embracing the skills that I do have. You know, me speaking, didn't know how to speak, didn't know how to act in front of a camera, but I was good behind the camera. But being in broadcasting, man, it really kind of took me out of my shell, kind of took me out of my element, or took me out of my comfort zone. It helped me out. I remember going to shoot a wedding at a church. I forgot who was getting married, but I remember going to shoot a wedding at a church with Mr. Calvin, and this was after school hours. So we ended up going to Germantown, and God, like, I seen like the biggest houses I've ever seen in my life. And he was like, yeah, man, these could be yours one day. You know, you work hard at it, these could be yours one day. And showing me that amount of attention that I couldn't get from a male figure at home, or couldn't get from a male figure in the streets, you know, really made an impact on me. And that's when he became my mentor. He showed me how to do interviews. He showed me how to act in the interviews. He showed me how to shake a man's hand. Like, something that simple means so much when it comes to being in like the career field. Shaking the hand alone, you know, tells you a lot about a man, and he taught me that. He taught me how to carry myself. He taught me how I need to dress. He taught me how I need to be my own person instead of following the crowd. I got into a lot of trouble while I was in this class. I think it was either my late junior year or my early senior year. And I was in the program, and I had got promoted to broadcast manager, man. I was super excited. And me and my brother, we got into a little spat with a couple of the gang members at the school. And they ended up kicking us out for 10 days, and then threatened to expel us. And the school district put us on the gang list. That was insane, and we thought they were going too far, but I guess that was their protocol. But Mr. Calvin came and stuck his neck out for me and my brother to get back into the school. That said a lot, man. And he went up to my mom. He was like, "You got a good kid. Your kids are doing great things. You just got to keep them out of their element." And from that day forward, there was no gangs around the house. There was no drugs around the neighborhood. Like, we moved to an entirely different neighborhood because she was proud that someone else saw potential in us. And quite frankly, I was proud that someone else saw potential in us as well. So being in the broadcast program, man, it changed my life a lot. It changed my mind, it changed my head, it changed how I think. And now I started my own company. And I want to say being in the broadcast program had a lot to do with that. You know, it opens you up to so many different avenues in life, not just being in the video room or behind the camera, but it opens you up to so many different things. It's basically this boiling pot of all these different cliques, of all these different cultures being combined to complete one purpose.
Hello, I'm Kim Clark with WMC Action News 5. I'm the noon and 3 and 4 p.m. co-anchor here. I used to work a lot of different shifts around the station in the 30 years that I've been here. And in the 30 years that I've been here, I've met a young man by the name of Marshonn Calvin, who was so, when he worked here at Channel 5, he was so passionate and so concerned and caring and wanting to do the best job he could do always. And he moved on, left here, and moved on and went to the MILLINGTON School District and began teaching a class at his school for students to learn about the business of TV news and TV in general. And he carried that passion with him and that concern and care to his students, and I think I don't think he could do more than what he has done. He is an amazing individual, and I don't even think the students knows how much work he does to make sure that they get the best learning experience they can, bringing them up here to the station to visit. And even in the middle of this COVID pandemic, he's putting together videos for them and trying to give them all the details and information they need to figure out if this is a career they want or to learn about the career in general. And my hat is off to Marshonn Calvin. He is an amazing man, and I'm so glad he came into my life, and I'm sure his students are very glad he came into their lives.
Calvin, I would like to first start off with you and thanking you for always being there for us, whether it was just talking to somebody, mentorship, and advice. Thank you for everything. Because, for me and you, we lost Jordan. You were there every step of the way. He was my best friend, and I appreciate that. Whether it was a shoulder cry on, you crying with me, you pushing me in here to be better, and all you students be better at extra competition. You always were there. You never really settled for less than perfection. Even though our version of perfection may not have been your version of perfection, but you helped us get to attain those things. I say thank you for mentoring me and help shape my life. I'm going to continue to help my junior sailors. Ms. Tamala, you have a wonderful husband, and with every great man, there's a woman behind him helping him out. And I appreciate that you keep on riding for your man. As far as broadcasting, so I was in the broadcasting class when we got off the floor with Trojan TV. I was doing entertainment at the time, and we had Stan, Alvin, name a few people in our class. It's cool to see how much it's progressed over the years, because it's really amazing. We were shooting off cassette tapes and battery packs, and I'm pretty sure they don't do that now. They probably have SD cards and charged for batteries, but we was going to all the football games, all the basketball games, running off cassette tapes, rough equipment, but we got it done. And I'm glad to see things with you excelling and doing well. Continue to keep doing what you're doing, and I hope everybody is being safe, washing their hands, and pressure social distancing, and you gotta be safe, and y'all have a good one. God bless.
Hey everybody, my name is Stanton Brown, class of 2010. I was in Mr. Calvin's broadcasting class for 2 years. It probably felt like 6, but and that's really just how the class felt. It really was a family. Football player, did fine in school, so broadcasting was really an outlet for me to be creative, and just really it started off just an extra class. And I was hoping I'd be able to make my own highlight tapes for football. And then it developed into a bigger experience where I've seen Mr. Calvin stay long hours helping students, driving them to and from games, and really being a mentor to us throughout the classroom and after school. So from my perspective, I saw a lot of growth within myself of just exploring a new venture, a new field that I wasn't familiar with, but also in terms of my own public speaking. You really don't know how you sound talking to people until you put a camera on and you have to say the words exactly right. So in general, it definitely helped me broaden my horizons, become a better public speaker, and just understand a different outlet and another way to look at things and look at life. And then also just connected some of the people in the classroom. Again, we became a real family within those 2 years, and I wouldn't trade that experience for anything. So thank you, Mr. Calvin, and I hope the broadcasting class has many more years to come and has many more great achievements.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Alvin Sawyer, class of 2010. I was a part of Mr. Calvin's broadcast media class for over 2 years. Alvin the Weatherman Sawyer is my name because we was originally part of the initial TV launch of Trojan TV. Class 2010 was the first one to ever launch the series, and it's continued to this day. Shout out to all my Trojans, Mr. Calvin, for keeping it going. But Mr. Calvin is a different type of man. He's more than a teacher. He is a leader in the school and outside the community as well. He knows how to find kids and unlock their potential and opening their eyes to new avenues with broadcast and media. And that's what he did for myself. I knew I was destined for greatness, but I also didn't know my potential of being a great public speaker, being in front of the camera. And it helped me. Those skill sets that I learned in his class has excelled me in my personal career and my endeavors that I'm doing today. I just want to thank Mr. Calvin for everything he has taught me. And to this day, it's been 10 years and we're still in contact. I don't have any other teacher that has done that, or professor. Shoot, some even friends I haven't even talked to. So Mr. Calvin is just a powerful leader within our community and Millington. And his class is the utmost front. And I recommend all the students, if you haven't enrolled, to check it out. It will add tons of value.
Trojan Broadcasting. It was a vision started by Mr. Calvin back in 2003. And I arrived at the Millington Star around the same time. And I got a call from the teacher at the school saying, hey, I want you to come check out my program, some of the things we're doing. That's when I first met Mr. Calvin. And he expressed a dream and a vision to me, and it has come to fruition over the last 16, 17 years. It's been amazing seeing how the program has grown from not only the classroom, but to the NAACP AXO Awards, the Telly Awards, and to seeing kids that went through his program now bringing me my local news at night. It's just amazing just to see how his vision did come to fruition, how he pushed and motivated these kids to tap into their talents. They shoot videos that focus on bullying, drugs, and topics like that affect their generation. And he also challenged them to be artists and creative. So when you see Trojan TV, how the kids broadcast the news and bring information to their peers, he allows them to exercise their dreams and their visions as well. But he also brings that old school journalism feel to it. They get to meet people like Joe Birch, local journalists as myself, to help them understand the business and what goes into putting information out there. Also, they get to meet celebrities like Penny Hardaway, so they can touch history and see how you cover history, and why it's so important to give good information out there. So Mr. Calvin has brought his expertise, and along with the vision of his wife, who's also in broadcasting, they bring that to the classroom, have that family atmosphere, but he pushes the kids and motivates them. And I think of one kid in particular, Jordan Brooks. He's the first kid to win first place at the NAACP AXO Awards. But shortly after that, he passed away in a tragic car accident. And that kid still motivates the heart of Mr. Calvin in this program. So he wants his legacy to continue with more first place winners, and it has been going on. So when those kids hear about the great Jordan Brooks and other kids like that, it's a very important legacy with Trojan Broadcasting.
Good evening. I'd like to take this moment and send a shout out and some love to Marshonn Calvin, one of my dear colleagues from my 10 years at Millington Central High School. Marshonn came on staff while I was the basketball coach at Millington Central, and the students that he sent me to work with the basketball program and a videotape game were professional, always did a great job. Everything was done in a timely manner. In fact, he took under his wing some of our more challenging students, and in fact, I can attest to that as some of the players that some teachers would push to the side. And Marshonn really had a special love and a place in his heart for them, and I'm incredibly thankful for that. But the meaning of this video for me is not really about the work solely that he did with my students and with my players. What's more important and more personal, and it holds a special place in my heart, is that after I left Millington Central and I moved on to a local private school, my son Chandler is autistic, one of my 3 boys, and we decided to keep Chandler at home. And I was very sure of this. I knew that Millington Central was the best place for him, and really it was because of people like Marshonn, who took my son, my autistic son, and had him in class every year, and took him under his wing and provided a place for him to grow. In fact, his desire right now as a student at Southwest Tennessee Community College is to remain in the broadcasting industry, to try to get into editing in some way, shape, or form, based on the work that Marshonn did with Chandler while he was at Millington Central High School. And for me, that just is incredibly important. My wife and I are so thankful for the time that Marshonn spent with our son Chandler, and it just holds a special place in my heart. And so I truly believe that it's the work that Marshonn's doing on the ground in a grassroots effort in a community like Millington that so many others overlook. He's making an incredible impact. And so I'm just so thankful for that. And I want to send a shout out and Marshonn from myself, Coach Wood, and my wife, Sherry. Thank you so much. Love you, brother. If you need anything, let me know. Good luck and God bless.
Hi, Trojan family. This is Brittany Martin, formerly Brittany Ray, coming to you from quarantine in Knoxville, Tennessee. I was class of 2004, and I did help Mr. Calvin and another student, Shalom, to begin the broadcasting program there at Millington, and I've seen that you guys have grown this into a really wonderful, huge program. You should be really, really proud of what you've done. I normally would be able to send you clips of what I do for a living, which is I'm a fitness instructor. I used to work at the University of Tennessee in the English Language Institute, which is ESL, which is English as a second language, for students preparing to enter the University of Tennessee from other countries, just to make sure that their English was up to par, to make sure they could understand college, university level classes. Unfortunately, when I got pregnant the second time, I got a double blessing. So I have twins, and so I'm a stay-at-home mom, and so I don't utilize my broadcasting skills as much anymore, but I did work in marketing for a while before I got married, and then now as a fitness instructor, it helps me just remember how to talk to people and how to change, maybe words that you might use if somebody doesn't fully understand what you're saying. So I really hope everyone is staying safe, staying well, staying home, and congrats, you guys are doing a great job there.
I would say a mentor, seeing that he has been in the education field for over
15 plus years, that says a lot, especially from someone that has a lot of things going on outside of, you know, being an educator. So when I say him being a mentor, he's giving me guidance on how to be a husband. So I've been married to my wife for over 7 years now. He showed me how to be an excellent father. So I've been, I have an 11-year-old, I have a 4-year-old, and we have a newborn son. But just getting, you know, tidbits from him, asking him, you know, how to do different things, and helping me make decisions. That's something that was really big when it came to my senior year, because I had the opportunity to take a school that gave me the option to pursue broadcasting and play football at Delta State down in Cleveland, Mississippi. But he also, you know, helped me make a decision for me.
I am a manager with Sam's Club, and I'll tell you guys, I really love what I do. I definitely would not be where I am today if it wasn't for the broadcasting program. One of my very first positions was technology team lead. I've been with the company since 2011, and I am still standing with the company now. I definitely intend on continuing growing, running my own club, and also opening multiple business throughout the Atlanta area.
Mr. Calvin! Y'all, we love Mr. Calvin. We love him, y'all. So I am so sorry it took so long for us to get this video together, but we have some pretty busy lives. Like, alright, so let's start from the beginning. We met Mr. Calvin, 2011? Yeah, 2011. We was leaving choir. We actually got out of choir to get into broadcasting. Yeah. So definitely when we got into class, like, it was just so much fun. I wish I had did it from my 9th grade. Yeah, I wish I had to like just plan all the 4 years. Right, we did 2 years, and it was just amazing. He opened up plenty like possibilities, opportunities. He's really why I'm so good at like editing to this day now. He is like the reason why we're working on all these different film projects, and he definitely planted that seed. Yes, definitely want to say Mr. Calvin planted a seed, and he is definitely good at planting seeds. As you can see, looking at this video, he's planted seeds everywhere. So many different students, so many different people that went on different journeys, and everybody just blooming and just coming these beautiful men and women that Mr. Calvin planted seeds of, you know, the film and video. So we thank you. We love you. We love you. We miss you. We wish you the most success, like everything. So Mr. Calvin is the best. Was the best and will forever be the best. Yep.
What's going on? Dale Beeman here with Heal the Hood Foundation of Memphis, and I'm very, very excited to be able to celebrate Brother Marshonn Calvin and so many amazing different things that I have seen come out of him. One thing about it is that throughout the years, you know, one thing I can say about Marshonn Calvin is that he's very reliable, very supportive, and most definitely he is a general in what he does as far as being able to command greatness out of young people. People don't understand that for Heal the Hood Foundation of Memphis, one of our things is to be able to use media science to really be able to have an opportunity to cultivate the magic that is hidden inside of young people. And Marshonn Calvin does that in so many different ways. There's been so many opportunities where I was doing something with Two Unique Community Salvation Foundation with her project Find Your Design, Roshonda Buchanan, and to look up and see Brother Marshonn Calvin and his family there teaching broadcasting and teaching what it feels like to get in front of a camera. And one of the things that I can remember is that there was a young man that was in that class, had been having some real bad situations. His name is Jared. And in the midst of that situation, and I don't know if Brother Marshonn knows this, the impact that he had in Jared's life, because Jared was pretty much just a student who was existing. From that, now Jared has not only went off and gone to college, but graduated college and has a very, very powerful and productive job here in Memphis. And it was amazing because a lot of kids that have unlocked potential on the inside of them can never get to their destiny without somebody like a Brother Marshonn Calvin. So the countless interviews that we've had with the celebrities, from The Last Dragon to Ty Mock to lately Michael J. White, and the birth that's happened with these young people has been nothing short of a miracle. So God bless you, Brother Marshonn Calvin. You are a general. Keep commanding, sir. Love you.
It's a great feeling.
I am the youngest reporter at my station. I'm the least experienced reporter at my station. So that's very intimidating. But I would have to say everything's an accomplishment. I don't think any accomplishment should be put more than the other. You know, graduating high school, that's a big accomplishment. Making it to college and making it through, that's a big accomplishment. You know, getting that first job, I can sit here and tell you now, I can probably count on my hands, on one hand, how many of my classmates are still in the business, you know, and they are going into their second job. That's such a big accomplishment. You know, getting my second job and jumping from market 168, you know, in the news business, there's like 200 TV markets. I started at 168, which is very low. And then for my second job, I jumped to market 51. That does not happen a lot. So every accomplishment, I guess you could say I treat them equally. You know, because it all helped me get to this point. And I mean, just making it each day, continuing to do, being able to do what I love to do is an accomplishment, and I cherish each and every one of them equally. It's gonna be worth it. You have someone who truly cares about you, whether, you know, he believes in you, whether you see it or not. He saw my potential and I didn't. I didn't know what he was talking about. And I'm so glad I listened, because this is where I'm at now. So you have someone who's in your corner. You have someone who believes in you, who will speak life into you. And you gain a family. You gain some lifelong friends. And I think you'll have a great time.
What's up, Trojans? My name is Janisha Cade, and I am an alumni. Coming into Millington, I was more so trying to pursue band and all things music, but they accidentally put broadcasting in my schedule, so I decided to stay and see what the program was talking about. Little did I know it changed me and made me realize my calling and desire for film and television. Me and Sean Dawson took over the entertainment segment, and it helped me get out of my shell and insecurities and just do what I love. Through broadcasting, I was able to create a voice in a world that silenced me. I found my voice through this program, and I was able to even compete and win regionally in the NAACP AXO competition, which granted me to travel and be a part of such a life-changing environment in Baltimore. I decided to pursue an education in film, which led me to want a career in working in sound and film. That's on-set sound and also post-sound. I'm also creating art as a director, writer, and even acting. One thing that I've learned is that nothing in this world can stop you from truly chasing your dreams but you. In college, I've read this poem by Robert Frost. It's called The Road Not Taken. And it talks about passion and deciding to take this journey alone and risky or safe and protected. And in this road of success, you have to remain patient, persistent, and personable. The poem ends by saying 2 roads diverge in the wood. I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Thank you, Millington, for guiding me on the beginning of this journey.
Now back to Trojan TV. 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 Now back to Trojan TV.
I am Janisha Cade. Now back to Trojan TV.
Good evening, Trojans, family, friends, and anyone else who may be watching. My name is Layla Gray, and I am a 2016 graduate of Millington Central High School, and I'm currently a graduating senior at the Tuskegee University, pride of the swift growing South. And I'm here to share my experience on how the broadcasting program with Marshonn Calvin has impacted my college life. Being at a HBCU, communication and networking is very important, really as a college senior graduate anywhere. I've definitely used the broadcasting program to improve and enhance my communication skills. My freshman year, I joined the Marching Crimson Piper Band when I pledged Tau Beta Sigma, National Honorary Band Sorority. And with that, I, of course, had to get interviewed. And I used my quick, critical, on-the-spot thinking skills from being an anchor for broadcasting. I applied that to my interview process, and it definitely helped. And I still use it every day. I am currently the 2019-2020 Miss Thick Tuskegee University. It's a platform to promote body positivity and to really challenge the stigma of what a perfect body is. And with that, we had a question and answer portion where I had to, again, come up with the on-the-spot quick answer, and I immediately used my broadcasting skills for that. Tuskegee holds an organization fair for underclassmen or anyone who isn't really familiar with the organizations we have on campus. And I was there, and I quickly had a camera come in my face, say, "Hey, can you quickly explain the organization fair and your organization?" And I immediately snapped into my broadcasting anchor mode, and that really helped me with that because it could have been intimidating for any other person. And my line sister looked at me and said, "Wow, you did that really well." And I was like, "Thanks." I did broadcasting in high school. So I never would have guessed that broadcasting would help me in my life with interviewing, pageants, and even the editing part, which is one of my favorite parts of broadcasting. Little stuff like the Don't Rush Challenge. Someone was like, "Oh, you want to do this? Who's going to edit it?" And I was like, "Oh, I can." I have editing background, so it's just little stuff I can apply it. It's been really helpful.
Hello, my name is Brianna Macklin, and I was a part of Mr. Calvin's broadcasting program from 2013 until I graduated in 2016. I was also honored to be station manager my senior year. I'm here to tell you how broadcasting has affected me and my life. Broadcasting was originally something I didn't want to do because of how shy I was, but Mr. Calvin was so welcoming, and he helped me break my shell. Being in broadcasting during high school made it so memorable, and the staff that I worked with for Chosen TV was definitely my family away from home. Life lessons were definitely learned in broadcasting. Two things Mr. Calvin always tried to instill in us was our work ethic and being responsible. Some more things I took from the program were things such as being good at answering questions on the spot in interviews, and being able to record and edit. I've also made a few paychecks from making videos for family events and videos for other events around the city. But I really just want to thank Mr. Calvin for being such an amazing mentor and being that one person you can always depend on. This program has definitely been a blessing to my life.
What's up, y'all? It's Kelvin Hollowell here. Class 2013 too. But just to reflect back on the class, I remember when it was my freshman year. It was me and T.O. We was always looking at Mr. Calvin class saying like, "Yeah, we're gonna be in there. We used to see Alvin, Stan, and all them. We used to be like, yeah, we're gonna be in there with them. That's like the fun class." And I always knew that. I never knew that a TV class would have such a big impact on my life. Because not only the class, but Mr. Calvin, man, he was the perfect role model for somebody. Just that African American male there for you. You know, he was more than a teacher. You know, he's always giving us life advice. And even though when me and T.O. used to play around with our work and stuff, he was always be like, "Man, look, I need to get this done, get this project done, man." He always took the time. He was real patient with us, is what I'm trying to say. And but yeah, that being in his class, man, it taught me a lot. It taught me the ways of maturing myself. I became more of a better adult, and the things that he taught me, I use in everyday life, like never giving up, just keep pushing. You know, especially being a young black male out here, it's really a gift. And he always told me that. So it's just, Mr. Calvin class was real. It was a real good experience, and I met more people through him. after I had the opportunity to interview a lot of people and step out of my comfort zone and get more comfortable in front of the camera. But yeah, my weather, I did the fashion segment for a minute, then did a little sports, but the fashion segment, it really taught me a lot too, because hearing what other fashion people had to do and me putting my fashion together, it worked a lot, because I love fashion, I love clothes and shoes now, so. But overall, man, it was a great experience being in Mr. Calvin class, and anytime he need me, I'm always there for him. Anytime I need him, he always there for him. He wrote me a letter of recommendation, and he gonna have it there. But yeah, overall, man, I do miss being in class with him, man. I miss that. I miss the class 2013, but everybody out here doing good, and it's all because of you, Mr. Calvin. You really pushed us and made us get out of our comfort zone for a good cause. So shout out to you again, man. Y'all stay up and stay safe out here.
I'm delighted to bring you good breaking news about a teacher at Millington Central High School with whom I shared and worked with as a teacher for 16 years. Marshonn Calvin was more than a journalism broadcasting teacher. I found him to be a motivator, a challenger, a champion, and a committed, dedicated mentor. Students were excited on a daily basis to walk into his classroom, for there was going to be an experience of a lifetime, an experience of creativity, of higher exposure to the educational and the journalism world. Mr. Calvin not only demonstrated his skills as a teacher, but he showed that he cared. He established good rapport, and then he had a relationship not only with the students but even the parents. I experienced the state, national, local winnings. Students came back excited. I actually saw students preparing for the various competitive events. They cared. They wanted better for themselves. Job placement was also one of the curricular means that he implemented to have his students develop to be productive citizens. Again, I'm Vera Tolbert. I taught office, business, technology at Millington Central High. Working with Marshonn Calvin was a delight, and we both would get excited on what we could see in the development of students. I'm happy to report this breaking news, this good news, that at Millington Central High School, we have a teacher in the journalism broadcasting program that is worth having. Congratulations, Mr. Calvin. Congratulations to the students who have been enrolled, who have graduated. And though we're in the midst of a crisis, still, what you have learned can still be applied in your daily living. Continue to be a success, and Mr. Calvin, for your works, we are thankful.
Hey, I am Ryan Garcia. I'm one of Mr. Marshonn Calvin's former students from 2016 to 2019. You know, the executive film director of creative services. You're one of them. And also former Axel Nationals top 7 competitor. Had to get all that out the way. I just want to say thank you, Mr. Calvin, dedicating your life to a craft that has helped me become a man that I am today. not only have you helped me with schoolwork, you were one of my only role models that I had in the school at one point, at multiple points. You helped me perfect certain crafts that I didn't know how to do in filmmaking, also story writing. You also helped me become a better man with some of the talks that we had, and you also sent me here to help me send me here to the Nationals for AXO. And you just dedicate yourself so many hours, so many days after school. I remember staying after school with you and getting in trouble because we were at the school editing until 9 p.m. And that's just dedication that you won't find anywhere else from any other teacher in any other arts or any other class at all. Mr. Marshonn Calvin dedicated his life to Trojan TV. And I just thank him for it, because without him, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today. So thank you, Mr. Calvin. Don't stop doing what you're doing. There's other kids out there like me that need you. Thank you.
I want to first start off by saying that you have been a marvelous teacher, instructor in the educational process. The work you have done with Trojan Television and Millington High School has been tremendous. You came into this profession with a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of effort to find knowledge to pass on to your students. I want to commend you for a job well done. I want to say that I've seen the progress you have made in the system of educating children and students in Tennessee. You have done a fantastic job. Your students will benefit and have benefited from your dedication to your work.
Marshonn Calvin, what can I say? A great guy. Marshonn started at WMC TV. He came in one day. You know, I didn't know he was hired, didn't know who he was. Came in the studio, they introduced him. And from that point on, we hit it off real well. He really excited about breeding and broadcasting, just like I was when I first got in. And he had a certain something, that drive that, you know, that he really liked, and his personality was great. He always was humorous, but studious, and always wanted to know more about filming in television and how things go. But what I liked about him was that he was determined, and he's always respectful. He always wanted to know what I thought about things, so he would always pick in my brain, which I enjoyed. It was kind of fun. We had these conversations. But you're getting a great person if you're interviewing, wanting any information on Marshonn Calvin. You're going to only get good information because he's a great guy. He's a studious individual, and he's a good family man. And plus, we're both from Illinois. That's a good point for both of us. That was our common ground then. We talked about Chicago and things like that. I really didn't know that much about Chicago because I was in Southern Illinois. And didn't see anything of Chicago until I was in college. But back to Marshonn. Marshonn had this drive, and he really wanted to teach. He really wanted to teach students. And you know, and I taught for a couple of years, and he was asking me all about it. And I told him, well, you can have the children. I'll go back and take the grown folks. And that's what he did. He took the children, we swapped places. He went, taught school, and I stayed in television. And he'd been teaching, and he would always come back and call us up. Could he bring somebody by the studio? I said, anytime you want to bring students to the studio, come on in. And then when he brought them, we just took them in. Me, Joe Burge, Ron Childers, Ursula Madden, Conjie Anthony, all of us. Just love when they came in because they showed so much enthusiasm because of Marshonn. And Marshonn was our man. Marshonn, you're the greatest.
He's given them what he, and I know for certain that I didn't have when I was in high school. We didn't have, you know, we barely had a newspaper if we had one at all. We
definitely didn't have a television station, didn't have cameras and a news set where we can produce content. It was unheard of. So what he's doing is fascinating to me. I still find it fascinating today that these kids are out doing and turning as much content as we're turning in commercial television stations each day. They're doing it, and they're just now picking up cameras and learning, and we've been doing it for years. And to some extent, they are actually at the forefront of what's happening, and they're actually being the movers and shakers and pushing us to do better. He's also teaching them about networking and learning about, learning to connect with other people and stepping outside of your comfort zone. You see and meet some of these people who are on television, but they're people too. They go home every night and they have families just like you do. So it's good that he is actually, making sure that they are meeting some of these people who are on the air, like Joe Birch and Kanji Anthony, Kim Clark, and Merle Purvis, and all those people, and that they are connecting with the students and actually, helping shape them as well. Giving them advice on what they went through early on in their career, and what giving them advice on schools and where to go, who has the best programs, and just what they need to do to be successful.
My name is Clary Williamson, and I was a part of Mr. Calvin's program from 2007 until 2008. During that time, Trojan TV wasn't up and going just yet. We were still making some final touches to the studio, getting some things in place for it to be up and going by 2009. But during that time, I was a part of the production team that played a part in putting together the 1968 sanitation strike documentary that is still near and dear to my heart. It played a huge part for me in seeing that, the 16, 17-year-old kid that didn't have much of a self-esteem could do something that was important and that matters in the overall scheme of things in regards to history and sharing art. Right? And so for me, that I felt like being a part of that really had it played a big part in my respect for Mr. Calvin, because he always made sure that we were able to learn the skills that we need.
I've been knowing Mr. Calvin for about maybe 5 or 6 years now, maybe longer than that. But to me, knowing Mr. Calvin, he has always shown me that he cares about us not only in school but out of school as well. By me being in his program from my freshman year all into my senior year in high school, it showed me that he actually pushes us to become our best self. He pushes us out of our comfort zone, and he helps us always grow and better ourselves. And I've actually watched him help out students in need that needed help with anything. He always was there to help them out and give them the proper help that they needed and the proper guidance. And I've always loved that about him as a teacher and also a mentor.
Blessings and good afternoon. I want to give a long overdue shout out to my mentor, Marshonn Calvin. I remember as a student entering your classroom, you accepted us as though we were family. You always encouraged us to thrive in the real world by staying unique and to be a free thinker. From man to man, heart to heart, I want to say thank you for every piece of wisdom that you instilled in me while being taught by one of MILLINGTON greats. Trojan TV has created some of the greatest content the world has ever seen, and also some of the best careers in media and broadcasting. Mr. Calvin, I want to say thank you for everything that you've done for sure. This little bird guy, Ice Bird, and I'm signing out. Yeah.
Hey, I just want to talk about what I learned about Mr. Calvin's TV broadcasting class. But first, let me tell you why did I go to the TV broadcasting class for Mr. Calvin. freshman year of high school, I was thinking, should I go university path or technical path? But I didn't want to take Spanish. I did not want to take it. So I decided to take technical path. And I picked between Shaw, theater, band, and journalism. I picked Mr. Calvin journalism class. I didn't know what to expect when you began. I didn't know nothing about the cameras, didn't know how editing works. But when I finally sat down and got behind the computer and started editing, and with Mr. Calvin help with editing, I fell in love with editing. I love editing. It's so much fun, it's easy to me. With Mr. Calvin teaching, that made it a whole better. He was like a father figure, like with how he stayed after school and was there for you, helped you with your project, showed you some tricks, some techniques that you didn't know about. That is something I will always appreciate for Mr. Calvin. I will always appreciate him.
There's nothing more I can say about this dude, man. Very good inspiration in my life. Like a second father figure to me. Oh man. Graduated in 2010, left there, and Mr. Calvin actually helped me get into the Art Institute of Tennessee, Nashville. Great experience. I learned so much from him and from the school. Currently in the military, man. Doing great things. I'm still using what he taught me back then in my everyday life. I know if I need anything right now, he'd pick up the phone and answer any questions I have or help me out with anything I need. Keep doing great things, man. You're leading all the students in the right way. Love you.
Being a part of Mr. Calvin's broadcasting program has woken up a side of me that I didn't even know existed. I started off this shy girl who didn't like getting in front of a camera, didn't like going out talking to people. Now entering a class that basically revolves around that. Revolves around being in front of a camera, going out talking to people, building connections, things like that. In Mr. Calvin's class, it takes you out of your comfort zone. It gives you that creative outlet that lets you make a piece on whatever you like to do. If you like sports, you can do a piece on sports. If you like fashion, you can do that. If you like food, you can go around Millington and interview different food places. His class doesn't have a classroom feel to it. It's very welcoming and home-like. When you get in there, it's just full of laughs. You can expect a story or two or three about everyday adventures. Every day in his class is just a new adventure.
Mr. Calvin, I took your class because all my friends were inside your classroom. But as the year and the class started to progress, that quickly changed. I became fond of you, the classroom, and just everything we did inside the classroom. And honestly, taught me a lot inside the classroom and outside. And what I mean by that, I remember one time, it was after a football game. You asked us how was the game. I told you not so good. We lost by 40. You laughed and said that's all right. And then you asked me how was I doing. I was like, I'm okay. You asked me how my mom was doing, and I told her she was doing fine. But just that concern right there, it's always made me respect you more as a person, because yeah, you cared about me as your student, but then again, you cared for me as if I was one of your own. You went above and beyond for me, and for that I appreciate you and I thank you, Mr. Calvin. And the times I have and the years I had in your classroom were truly amazing. I learned a lot. In your classroom, you taught me a lot as a role model and someone I look up to today.
What I say, learning how to shoot the camera shot this way and then get off my screen and go to another camera angle screen was like mind blowing, and then to go down here and then go back over there. Man, I said, yeah, I look at every single thing different. I mean, broadcasting opened up my eyes to see the angle from behind the camera. pretty much. So when I see a movie, when I see a music video, when I see sports going on, or when I see the news, man, I think about it goes deeper than just the guy that's holding the camera or the robot that's holding the camera. Get deep. And thank you, Mr. Calvin, for everything you have done for me. You know, I love your mentorship you gave me, and I love all the support. All I can say is thank you. Keep doing what you do best, man. And I feel like you're going to be here 200 years from now. Well, your legacy going to be here.
My name is Princess Buchanan, and I attended and graduated from Millington Central High School. I also attended and graduated from the University of Tennessee at Martin. I received my degree in communications with a concentration on broadcasting and television hosts with a minor in sociology. I just want to say that none of those things would have been possible had I not attended Millington and got in Mr. Calvin's class 12th grade year as an elective. I'm thinking I'm going in there, you know, this is one of the last classes I got to take just to get on out of here, and I'm going to be on my way to that diploma. It did happen like that, but so much more happened. Before I got to the 12th grade, a lot of my family members encouraged me to kind of understand what you want to do in college and major in before you get there so that you don't waste your time or your money. And I did that. Although I did sign up for Mr. Calvin's class as an elective, I got so much more out of it than just a class. Mr. Calvin has always been such a father figure to every student that ever walked in his classroom. I can personally attest to him stepping in as a father figure to me. My father lives in another state, so you know, him parenting me from up there, it gets very difficult, especially as an adolescent child. But over time, I was able to cope with it and understand it, as well as being able to meet such a strong black man like Mr. Calvin, who is so family oriented and also very loving and caring about each and every one of his students. I actually stand on those shoulders that Mr. Calvin instilled into us every day. And this life ain't gonna be easy for y'all, but y'all can get through it. He exposed a little black girl like me with roots from Ohio to living into Memphis and Millington to a bright world of media.
My whole broadcasting experience was basically like a huge family. Even though we were in different classrooms, we always came together as one. Everybody knew everybody. It didn't matter what class you were in, first year, third year, it didn't matter. Even students that were in the class end up not being in the class anymore because they took all the years. But we were always together. During broadcasting, I was very shy. I was adamant about being in front of the camera and everything, but Mr. Calvin honestly pulled that out of me. I got to work with celebrities like a man from Tyler Perry, a woman that worked with makeup, and it was honestly a huge honor. He trusted me being the shy one, to do these interviews with these people. He was just like, Delaney, it's okay. They're just normal people. You don't have to be shy. And I'm glad that he believed in me and knew that I could do it.
So in the beginning of Trojan TV, that was my husband's first year teaching, and in the beginning they had no cameras, really no computers. If they had any, it was minimal. It was more books and ideas in the beginning. And but the students, and him, they did the best that they could do with what they had to work with. The journey has been exciting for me, and to be a part of it with my husband, Mr. Calvin, has been just exciting to see how he gets some students who sometimes have behavioral problems, and to see how they get to be creative and how it turned their lives around. That's one of the most exciting things that happens with this journey. I'm excited also to see how they've grown with getting some of the new equipment that they have, and how they're always just being cutting edge on not just equipment but on the editing software and some of the projects that they create and how the creativity just continues to grow every year. So that's been exciting, and that's challenging to do that, to keep the creativity growing and going. It's not easy all of the time, especially when you're balancing hundreds of students. And so you're training the students, you're dealing with some of the things that students have to deal with, along with making sure that you put out a good quality product. And so that's not easy. So I think that it is actually just amazing to see how the program is still grown and still growing.
Overall, I feel like we have fun out of it. So he would show us like his shows that he usually making, and we was like, oh, it takes a lot of effort to put in what he puts into his program. It was like, okay. And then seeing like our mother's perspective, she does the same thing, and it's like, dang, like we have some parents that will do anything to get their points across.
Hi, my name is Calvin. I'm Marshonn's niece. My uncle is very smart, kind, loving, helpful, honorable, motivated, and wise man. When he finds passion in school, broadcasting, and directing, it showed me who he really was as a person.
I just thank you for always being there, being my best friend, always giving me motivation, giving me insight on things, and always just being there for me. Like, I know if I had a chance to call you or anything like that, you always be there for me. So like that's love right there, and I got mad love, respect for you.
So as you just heard and saw, those are some of the lives that Mr. Calvin touched over the years, and is still touching even now for some of the students who have graduated and went on to the military to complete college. They're married now, have their own families, and some have become educators also. So those are just some of the lives that he's touched over the years, and I thank you all for considering him for the Lifechanger Award. Thank you.